So in last week's video, we covered the skills you can get in the Mirror of the Night, what I prefer to have in my Hades runs, which you can see on the screen right now. There will be a link in the description to get you to that video. And in this week, we'll be covering the weapon aspects and the weapon movesets of Hades. So we're going to start things off with the first weapon you get in the game after your first ever run. In fact, the game basically gives you this weapon. It's the sword. So, thank you, ZAGREUS. Every weapon you have 4 aspects. And these 3 you can, well, these 2, you can unlock anytime during the game in any run as long as you have the Titan's Blood for it. And the final one, you have to unlock in a super secret special way, which I will also cover in this video. So, first off, I want to talk about the aspect of ZAGREUS. So the aspect of ZAGREUS, bonus attack speed, bonus movement speed. That's actually a pretty good sword to just run the game with. It's very basic. It'll help you get through a couple of boss fights, a couple of runs, and it synergizes well with a lot of the boons available for you. You can do bleed builds. You can do crit builds. You can also do a fun lightning build with ZEUS. So overall, the base sword's actually not that bad. You know, basic attack, then heavy attacks, a slam like that. Anything in the AoE will get damaged by that, and they will be knocked back like this. So they'll be knocked back like that. Then when you dash, your dash strike like that. It's basically just a fencing attack. Yeah, it's like one of those attacks you do when you're fencing. So moving on, we have the aspect of Nemesis. This aspect is something I would recommend that you get very quickly, because this aspect, a lot of speedrunners use it. This is my favorite aspect for the sword just because of the bonus crit chance. Now, this is a flat bonus crit chance. So basically you have just, well, at max level you have 30%. I have it at 26, but just having flat 26% crit whenever you do this, it's actually quite insane. You see the damage numbers is actually really high. So basically how you get the increased crit chance, you do a heavy attack like that, it knocks enemies back, but you get like the big numbers. And you saw the one of those numbers, like it glowed green for a second there. That's the actual crit number, which is like 2 times? Yeah, 2 times the base damage. So having boons with that increase your crit, like Artemis. Artemis is actually very infamous for having for building with this sword aspect. Yeah, and it's a really good sword. The moveset is more or less the same, but just the additional crit chance like that and just doing big numbers like that actually hurts a lot of the bosses. So yeah, this sword's really good for you to just like try out if you really like the sword. Now, aspect of Poseidon, I am not the biggest fan of this. I don't really like this. So basically your special dislodges cast. So when you do this and then you use special, cast well, that wasn't a good example because he died, but initially how you're supposed to play it is when you cast all 3 of your stuff like that, then you press Y, or your heavy attack, then it, gets them out of it faster. Which is it's kind of okay, it's kind of meh, but yeah, to me it's not that good. It's not really worth you running an aspect. There are some like cast builds you can do with this, which is, pretty cool in itself, but if you're going for cast builds, you should probably go for either the shield or the bow, not really the sword. I would stick with the Thank you, ZAGREUS. I would go with the aspect of Nemesis just for, crit chance is just too good. It's very nice. Now, the last aspect is the aspect of Arthur. This is actually very interesting. It's unlike all the other aspects where you're like, high damage or you're moving very fast. This is very slow, but you are very tanky. Look at that. You can have like 150 health. I'm pretty sure you can get to 175 starting health, which is a lot. you get very tanky. I'm pretty sure if I remember. Yeah. Yeah, you cast the Holy Excalibur, so you create a defensive aura around yourself, which slows enemies. So the final aspects of any weapon, instead of having the normal moveset, they usually will have a gimmick to them, or will have a special trait that no other aspect will have. So, for example, the sword, the attacks are slower, and I can actually feel them being slower. But they do a lot of damage. Like that last attack does 200, which is massive. But the special thing about this sword is when you use your heavy attack, when you knock them back, you get this defensive aura. So you get like basically a slow around you and also like a high defense boost around you, which is also pretty good. But this sword is probably one of the hardest swords to learn, but it also comes with great output. Like it's between these two. This is a fun sword. You can get really tanky and just really, it's just really fun. Right, next is the spear. Now again, you start with the aspect of ZAGREUS. I am not the biggest fan of the spear, as you can see. Like I don't really like the spear. I don't really like the spear. I'm not the biggest fan of it. Doesn't really fit my playstyle, but I'll still show. I'll still showcase it. And when you unlock something, that's what it looks like. So starting off with the aspect of ZAGREUS, bonus traits when you upgrade this: special damage, range, and speed. Now your special for wrong aspect. Your special with the spear is when you throw it, and then when you press the heavy attack again, it comes back to you. So you're basically building around this whenever it comes to most of the spears. So a good combo is basically just spear, throw, dodge, recall, or you can do this like mid animation as well. Which you can tell I'm not that good at using the spear. And the normal attack is a thrust. Pretty decent range. Like from here to here I can still hit. Pretty decent range for most of the weapons. I'm pretty sure it's one of the longer range melee weapons. Alright, but of course the range weapons are longer range though, but still, as a melee weapon, it has pretty long range to it. And then the heavy light attack, the hold attack, you basically do a 360 circle thing like that. Now for the dash attack, it's basically just that you do like a cone. Yeah, you do like a cone damage in front of you, which is not bad. I kind of like this attack, but this gimmick is not really my favorite. So moving on to the aspect of Achilles. So this basically makes you charge. Oh, whoops. This basically makes you charge forward instead of the spear. So instead of recalling, you kind of like charge forwards to the spear, which is pretty fun, not gonna lie. But I am not too good with this. I'm not too good with this spear. So the gimmick with this spear, you charge forward and then you can recall it. So let's say you do this, you can either recall it like that with your light attack, or you can charge towards it. I'm pretty sure there's a combo you can do with a recall and that, but I'm not too good at it, and I don't use the spear too often. Dash attack is still the same, and the other attacks, I'm pretty sure, yeah, all the other attacks are still the same. The main gimmick about this spear, you can dash towards it, and then you can do more with it. the sphere is not my favorite, so I'm not really gonna cover it too much. Next is the aspect of Hades, your father, or the title of the game. Now, this I'm pretty sure is just the 360 attack. Is a bigger range like that. I'm pretty sure it does more damage. Oh, whoops. Pretty sure it does more damage. Yeah. So, your giant spin attack has more range, and it puts a debuff. That mark on top of them is the debuff. So they receive more damage onto them. So you do that, and you recall. Everything else is the same, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, all the other movesets are the same. Now, generally with the spear, I don't really know what builds you want to go for. From what I've seen people build, they usually build the bleed builds. So Dionysus, Ares. I've seen some wacky builds with Aphrodite and Artemis, but generally, the most part, I don't really know how to use the spear too effectively. Now, next is the aspect of Guanyu. So, aspect of Guanyu, basically, your heavy attack does a explosion, and it life steals. So, but the drawback is, as you can see from the bottom left of your screen, I have less health. So I have 100 health, and Guanyu takes away 70% of your health and your healing, which is so risky. Having low health in this game is so risky. There are certain builds you can do with it. Like, I'm pretty sure there's a trinket that gives you more damage when you're low health. Yeah, this one. You 30% damage when you're like 35% health or less. But having less health, like starting with 30 health, that is so risky. And I'm pretty sure when you upgrade it as well. When you upgrade it as well, yeah, it goes down by 5%. So I assume it's 25. I think it's minus 45% health at max level. Which is okay, but still it's really risky. So the moveset's like that. Dash strike's still the same. The poke is still the same. 360. You kind of toss the spear around, which is the gimmick. And that you don't need to recall with this. You basically just throw it, and it'll give you lifesteal. But the main gimmick is these two. So the hold attack lets you throw out the spear itself and spin in a circle. I don't think you can do. Oh, you can. I thought you couldn't do. I thought you couldn't do your heavy attack while the spear's out, but apparently you can. So yeah, this spear is the most interesting one. The spear is the most interesting one out of all the other aspects. I would probably want to try this and try to find a build with it, but I am not the best with the spear, and I honestly don't really like the spear playstyle. But before we move on, I would like to remind you guys to go to our Facebook page and leave a like, as we have monthly deals regarding tech and all your tech needs at reasonable prices. We got phones, tablets, PCs, laptops, you name it, we got it. So what are you waiting for? Head on over to our Facebook or click the link in the description below to get your hands on some sweet deals now. Now back to the video. So moving on to a weapon that I actually use quite a lot, and it's my favorite weapon in the game, the shield. So the shield has, honestly, all of the shield unlike the others, all of the shield aspects are really good. Let's start with the aspect of ZAGREUS. This enough is a really good weapon to start out with, and I would recommend for newer players and even veteran players to just get the shield first and fully level it up. Just because of this. Like, this hold attack is so good just because it blocks any damage coming in front of you. So let's say the boss is shooting at you, and that's if you just hold your light attack. So let's say the boss is like shooting at you with its attacks, and you just block it. Just block it like that. Any form of damage that comes in front of you will be blocked. Unless it's like, you know, AoE. Then if you're in like the AoE area, sometimes it won't be blocked, but that's only with certain attacks. So the shield bash or the bull rush is the hold ability. The dash strike, it's actually pretty nice. It's like the spear. It has a cone in front of you. The normal attack's also pretty nice. It knocks back, and it also has a cone of damage, so you can hit multiple targets in front of you. And for the heavy attack, it's a shield throw. You literally become Captain America. Now the main combos you want to do with this, I personally like the Ares combo with the default shield. So you just have Ares. You have his special heavy, then you just toss your shield, and you're doing like mass bleed damage to everyone. But another combo I like is with Artemis. You just have a crit throwable shield. And it's the same thing with Aspect of Chaos. Now Aspect of Chaos, I really like it, just because it has a nice flow. So basically, what Aspect of Chaos does, instead of a one throw like that, after your bull rush, so your hold attack, after this, there'll be like 5 shields that come out of it if you have it maxed out. So I'm pretty sure you can see it like that. There'll be like, then bam. So I have 4, and maximum you can have is 5. There'll be, all of them will come out, but only one will return to you. So that's a lot of damage. And you can imagine, like I said, with the bleed from Ares' special attack, you can bleed basically the entire room and just room clear in a couple of seconds. It's insane. It's so fun. Next is the Aspect of Zeus. Now this is a really interesting one, and it's the one with the highest potential. So all the movesets are the same, except for the special. So the special, you do this. You can still basic attack, but the special will just kind of just hover around and do its own thing. Like, it just hovers around until a certain amount of time, then it returns to you. Now you can manipulate this in a way where you can press the heavy attack again to recall it, but you can just run around and just have it like continuously follow you, trying to catch up to you, and just continuously do damage to targets around you until you want to grab it back. Now this is the highest potential damage in the game, namely because it's just continuous attacking. So something like Zeus's heavy, where it's just continuous damage over time. It's actually really strong with the shield, and I've gotten it, and I've been careless with this, and I've died just by watching the damage like that continuously hit targets. I've died to that before, but if you play it properly, it has one of the highest damage outputs in the game, and again, ridiculous. Now, Aspect of Beowulf. This is fun. This is fun because, especially for cast builds. So, the moveset's a little bit different. The basic attack is still a cone, but it's kind of delayed. The bash is still the same. Throw is still the same, and the guard is still the same, but there's something special with the guard. So, if you press your cast ability, it won't actually like toss it out. It'll go into the shield, and then when you bull rush, you can see the bull rush is a bit shorter distance. When you bull rush, all those casts come out and do their damage. So the interesting thing about this is that it's the only cast build you can do that doesn't involve it sticking into the enemy. So you don't have to wait for your cast to come out. Like, example, we'll cover this in a bit, but yeah, you don't have to wait for your cast to come out and then do their damage. This does the damage instantly. See, it takes a while. Yeah, see? This does the damage instantly. And bam. And it increases with the number of casts you have. Increases with the number of casts you have. So you can have a maximum of, I think, 8? I think 8 is the maximum number of casts I've seen, but I'm not too sure. So, yeah, if you have like, I think Artemis's cast works really well with this. Uh, Aphrodite's kind of works with this. Zeus's is pretty decent. Uh, Ares is also pretty nice. Get this. I like this shield just because it's very flexible in whatever god you want to go for in a run. But yeah, it's just really fun, and overall the shield is just really fun and just very useful to me. So that is it for the first half of our Hades weapons guide. If you're wondering why we cut it so abruptly, is because the video was originally supposed to be one video, but then it got too long, so we decided to cut it up into 2 parts. The next part will be out next week. I hope you guys enjoyed watching. Leave a like if you did, and leave a like if you learned something. Helps out a lot. Remember to click subscribe, and also to leave a comment on what is your favorite weapon. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.